Good morning.
How we doing today?
All's well, sir.
All is well? It's all well with everybody? All right, you know how we get things started, new week, new day. Did something really cool or interesting since we were last together. Or who wants to share something that's great before? Katie, you know what you want to share? I'm just messing with you. You look like you want something, but
Please.
you got something to share? Something cool since we were last together? Or something you're grateful for?
Well, I did my hair again.
You did your hair when?
Again.
Again, okay, but it said you did it today. Okay, do you do it or you go get it done?
I do it.
You do your own hair.
I just got bored.
You get bored and you just do your,
I change it a lot.
you like variety.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with variety. So how long will you keep it like this?
Because I did the blue
This
on
one,
the second of this month, and I already changed it, so I have no idea how long. But I wanted to go back to it.
Well, that's cool. Glad you're happy about that. Anybody else share something really interesting or something you're grateful for since we were last together? Ashton, what you got?
I'm just grateful for life.
Please.
Grateful for being down here today. Grateful that I'm here.
Yeah, grateful for life. That is,
Everything that I have.
that's awesome. Yeah, because there's some people who were alive last week who are not alive this week. Whole lot of people. All over this city, this state, this nation, and this world. Then there are those people who were healthy last week, but they're not healthy this week. And there are those people who went to the doctor last week, and they got a diagnosis, hey, you got stage 4 cancer. Whoa. That was just a week ago. So, all right. We ready to start?
Yes, sir.
Now we got some positivity in the air.
Don't worry.
All right, let's begin. Okay, now, as always, I want to start off with a few announcements. Today we start in a brand new chapter. You know, the world of psychology is constantly trying to get us to better understand people. Why we are the way we are, what we do, why we do what we do. In this chapter, we're trying to understand how our memories work.
Yeah, how we memorize memories and make sure we have them so we memorize knowledge,
Exactly.
uh,
So,
to make us smarter and intelligent and stronger than ever.
Is chapter 6, memory. I'm curious, just a little quick survey. Be honest with yourself now. Who in this room thinks you have a good memory? Okay. Maybe I miscounted. Who in this room thinks you have a good memory? 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay, so everyone else, I'm just curious. Tell me, why do you feel you don't have a good memory? Anybody? Yes?
Well, I can remember some things from like a long time ago, but like if my friends help me like a plan for next week or something, I don't completely forget about it.
So you're better remembering things from the past, but not current. That's interesting.
Okay.
Some people would think that the current stuff would be easier to remember. You know what? It's so funny. I don't know why, but the past 4 months, I've been feeling really nostalgic. Let me explain what that means. The past 4 or 5 months, I've been really contacting people from my past. So I just have questions. And so I have been in touch with 3 people from elementary school, 3 girls, and then one of my close friends from high school. And then there's one girl, she doesn't remember anything from elementary school. Like, don't you remember? She's like, no. But you remember? No, I don't. And it's just amazing how some people can remember stuff. She has no, I talked to a mutual friend of hers who I also went to elementary school with, and she said, oh yeah, Veronica don't remember nothing. She don't remember nobody. We'll see somebody, and remember, don't you remember? She'll be like, no, I don't remember him. That's just amazing. And some people I noticed, some of you tell me your elementary school, and even most of your high school teachers. And some of you have no idea. Who remembers most of their teachers' names? Okay, and how many of you, like, you might remember one or two, and that's it? See, that's me. I don't know why I don't remember. I remember my 8th grade teacher because she was the hardest teacher I ever had in my entire life, and my classmates thought she was evil. So I remember her. Her name was Miss Johnson. I can't forget her. There's so many teachers. I remember maybe 4 high school teachers. 4. That's it. So we're gonna try to learn why our memories work the way they do, why some things are easiest for us to remember. We're gonna look at short-term memory versus long-term memory, why sometimes we forget things, and we're actually gonna discover how the way our brain functions is very similar to how a computer functions when it comes to memory. Okay. Now, let me go through these other announcements real quick too. Next Monday, September 29th, the next couple of quizzes are due. Quizzes for Chapter 4, States of Consciousness, and Chapter 5, Learning, which we finished last week. So that is due next Monday.
And the
I try to
second,
remind you guys.
and the second test is on October.
I'll get to the test in a second. I'll get there in a second. So, but you gotta get the quizzes in. See, I always emphasize the quizzes because that's what the bulk of your grade is. And there's a few of you who are missing out on those points. Try to get all 150, or at least get close to 150, bless you. So that is due next Monday, September 29th, quizzes for Chapter 4 and 5. Now, so I mentioned tests. Your next test, excuse me, will be a week from Thursday. So it's not this Thursday, but the following week. That is October the 2nd. That is your next test. That will cover Chapter 5, Learning, one we just finished, and Distance, Chapter 6, Memory. Okay? And so if the test is next Thursday, that means next Tuesday, we're gonna do a review activity. I won't tell you what it is, it's gonna be a review activity. All right? Any questions about the upcoming things you need to be aware of? All right. Well, let's begin with memory now that we know those of us who feel we have a good memory. I'm trying to think, do I have no. Sometimes, for some things I do, some things I don't. I had a friend when I was younger, he remembered crazy sports stats. He was like 12, he just knew basketball, football, he knew player stats. Like, I'd be like, how do you extort all that? Oh, and he knew music stats. Like, he could be like, a year ago, this song got as high as number 3 on the Billboard charts. It's the strangest things he would always remember. All right, so let's first, we kind of talked about what's coming, but we don't need to spend much time on that. Let's go ahead and first define the term memory, or how our textbook decides to
Process by which we encode.
define the term memory. And as you're writing it down, as you can see, there are 3 words that are in bold print. Those are the 3 parts of memory that we're going to go into.
Retrieve details.
So if you see that term on an exam, you're really looking for those 3 words: encode, store, and retrieve.
Please.
And this is where we get into seeing the similarities between how our memory works and how our computer operates. Memory, the process by which we encode, store, and retrieve information. Those are 3 different steps. Encoding is taking in the information, and then you store it so that you can retrieve it later. That's exactly what you do with a computer. That's exactly it. You have a computer, you put the information in, hopefully, if you're storing it, like say you got a report to do,
Um,
you're putting the information on your report in the computer, and you need to store it or hit save. It really kind of sucks when you work on
Mr.
something,
Jones,
got
could
to
you-
save it, and then you lose it. That's very frustrating.
could you go back, please?
Sure, no problem. And so we want to be able to store that stuff so you can use it later. You can save it. And the retrieval part is when you want to go back to the report that you were working on, or when it's time to print out the report, you got to retrieve it. And that's why it's often from our memories and the way it functions is very similar to
Okay,
a computer. Encoding, storage, retrieval. That's what it is. That is how it works. That's the concept. Now, of course, sometimes things go wrong during the encoding process. We'll get into that. Sometimes things go wrong with the storage process. And then if it doesn't get stored right, you can't retrieve it. I'm sure some of you stored something on your computer, you couldn't get it out. There was really no excuse to have a computer and your computer crash. Anybody have a computer crash on it? Just one, two, three, four, oh.
Okay.
So, a couple of years ago, I wrote a year and a half ago, I wrote a book. That was my biggest fear. You know how paranoid I was? You're working on a book, you're spending hours and weeks and months, and you gotta store it. And I kept thinking, what if, I've been working on this for 8 months, my computer crashes, and all of my book is gone.
That'll be all, Mr. Jones. Move on, please.
What was that? Pretty good. That was so scary for me, which is why I always took a little storage device, what do you call those little flash drives? Flash drives. Every time, I put a flash drive every time, so I always saved it on my computer and on my flash drive. Because I would cry if 200 pages in, I'd have lost my whole book. I would literally cry. So fortunately, that didn't happen, because I backed up big time. I started to back it up in the cloud too, but I was like, okay, maybe I'm being paranoid. All right, so this is the way memory works. Now, we're gonna go into this in more detail. We're gonna break this down. But this is called a 3-stage information processing model of memory. And I'm gonna break this down a little bit so you can understand what this picture is. So, sensory input. How many senses do we have? 5. Sight, hearing, smell, touch, taste. That's how we take in information, through our senses. That's how, when you see something, oh, I saw the car accident, I heard the car accident, I smelled the gasoline when the cars hit each other, I stepped on a piece of glass, like I felt like that's how we take in information through our senses. And so that's called the sensory memory. Now, from there, when we focus on certain things that take place, like the car accident, it goes into short-term memory. Now, here's the thing. When something goes into our short-term memory, that means we can lose it real quick. It's only short-term. Unless we rehearse it, meaning we replay it in our head over and over. And by rehearsing it or replaying it in our head over and over, then it goes to long-term memory. How many here know how to play chess? Okay, decent enough. Now, if those of us who knew how to play chess taught the rest of the class who didn't know, if you teach them how to play today and they don't play anymore, they don't rehearse, down the road they're not going to remember how to play chess. They can be like, I think I did this, I think this piece was this way, I don't remember, because they didn't rehearse. So you taught them how to play it, and it just went into their short-term memory. But without the rehearsal part, they lost it because it didn't move over to long-term memory. You got to rehearse stuff to stay with you. How many of you been in theater when you were in high school? How many of you did drama club or theater? Just 3? I did it my fourth. I did it my senior year. It was really. I didn't know. You guys won't realize being in theater is fun. Wait, people did theater. Did you enjoy that? Like I didn't realize being in theater was so much fun. And I promise you, I'm not making that up. But because it's the kids who do the theater kids. We're gonna talk about cliques later on when we get to high school and stuff. Development through Weissman. The theater kids have this reputation of being kind of what, weird, odd, kind of nerdy or something like that. I don't know.
They are weird.
They are. But here's the thing. Theater kids are authentic. They're real. They're not trying to be something they're not. Wait, did you have that experience? Anybody have that experience? Did you feel like they were fake? See, that's what, they're real. Where so many other groups, so many other cliques in high school, like the jocks, I don't know, whoever these other groups are, they're not really being authentic. They're really authentic people. It turned out to be a lot of fun. Anyway, so enough of my past. So I just mentioned it starts out with sensory memory. So your textbook defines it as the initial momentary stage of information that only lasts an instant. Circulating the sign sheet. Who needs to sign? Okay. There's one sheet at once. Okay, pass that one around and invite people. Sensory memory. And you can remember this term by thinking about your senses. Sign on this. Who else needs to sign on this? You can pass it behind you when you're done. Sensory memory, the initial momentary stage of memory. Now, we know there are 5 senses.
Snapchat the stores.
But the 2 main senses that we use very frequently to take in memories is iconic memory and echoic memory. Iconic memory is memories that happen because of something you
Brief
saw.
moment of time.
It's a picture image, like I mentioned a moment ago. You saw the accident happen. So that's the primary way we're going to take in memory. And then the ecolic memory is sounds. You heard the glass shatter. You heard the 2 vehicles collide. Those are 2 main ways. I mean, of course,
Picture
smell
memory.
comes into play, perhaps touch. Clearly, if there's a car accident, you're not going to be tasting the scene of the accident with your tongue. So you won't be using it. That's why those are 2 primary ways that sensory memory begins, and that's where it starts to go into short-term memory. Okay? Everybody got all that?
I need to finish remembering that.
Now, if sensory memory does not move it on to short-term memory,
Okay.
it can be lost for good. Got it. The brain wants to move it along or just lose it.
Doesn't pass.
Did anybody see animated movie where we get to see the character? Her name is Riley. Inside Out. Anybody see Inside Out? Really cool. Wait, who's seen Inside Out? You see it? Okay, so most of you did. Okay, great. Okay. There was a sequel to that, 1 and 2. That movie is so well written. I don't know if a psychologist wrote it, but it was brilliant the way not only it talked about the different feelings and emotions that we have inside of us, but there was a lot about memory in that movie. Like, Riley remembered things and they were depicted as little balls. You guys remember that? And the little guys would go through memories that they felt weren't useful anymore. They would just suck them out. They had the food. Oh, shit, that memory works. They were just sucking them away. And in some of the memories, the balls were just turning gray. Those are just memories that died. Memories just faded away. And once the memory fades away, it's kind of hard to get it back. It's just gone. So they were cleaning those out too. That's really kind of what happens with us. Some memories, but then yet, she remembered that gum jingle. Oh, cigarette gum. She remembered that. Like, there's tons of us that remember all these crazy little jingles or songs that we won't forget that we can't get out of our head. Like, I hate to do this to y'all, but there's a song that involves, is it a shark? What song am I thinking of?
Baby Shark.
Yeah, how does that go again?
Really
I said sorry, I didn't do that. I can't get the melody in my head right now. How does it go?
Don't do
Well, I just forgot.
it.
Wait,
I literally just got that out of my head.
see, some things just stay in our head and just stay there. But I could, if y'all don't want to do it as a class, we can sing it together.
Wait, what?
No,
Sing the shark song.
No.
No, have it stuck in our heads for the rest of the
yeah,
day.
it's exasperating, you know.
Okay, I won't spare it. Yeah, okay. Well, you see how some things can stay in our head, like a jingle. That's a catchy little haunting torture of a song.
Move on, please.
All right, so now let's talk about, so we took it in through our sensory memory, and now things move to our short-term memory. So I need you to write down what our short-term memory is. And then this word right here is called chunk. This is the textbook definition of chunk, which I don't really like. We're gonna go with this definition of chunk, and I'm gonna explain all those letters at the bottom of the screen in a moment. Short-term memory. So we started out with the sensory memory when we took the information in, and if we replayed it in our head, hopefully it should move over to short-term memory. As you can see, things don't stay in short-term memory for long because as you're writing, it says 15 to 25 seconds. That is not a long time.
A group of separate pieces.
So we're gonna start learning some techniques that people can use, or that we can use to remember a lot of information.
Details. Stored as a single unit in a short memory term. Sorry. Just this now.
For those of you who are done writing, just got a quick question for you. Because I'm from a different age group, different era in time. So back in my days, if a guy saw a girl he wanted to try to get with, he would like ask for the phone number. And I'm just curious, do guys ask girls for phone numbers now? I'm serious, I don't know. Is that a thing? Well, then what happens then?
It's like Instagram. You guys for social media now.
So how does it work? So a guy, they do what do they do?
Yeah, they said
It's too serious. So that's the standard thing, is that guys, gals? So can I get your Instagram?
You can do it for
I'm sorry. Okay.
Carry on, please.
So, now, but some of your Instagrams are kind of weird, like underscore and hashtag. Ain't it getting a little complicated sometimes? So do you tell them like, oh no, / not
So
backward
when you
slash?
write it, you have a little forward instead of an A.
Yeah, how
You
does
just
that
show
work?
them, like, majority of the time sometimes you just like show them.
You just show them.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I'm not hating on your generation, but I'm so glad I don't have to do all that. It's so nice to be married. So wait a minute. So can you give it to somebody and say, hey, put your Instagram in here?
Yeah.
That seems like that'd be easier.
There's this new update on the phone where you can like, this is for numbers, but like you can touch like the top of their phone to yours. And I saw my friend did it one time, and like it literally just transfers like your contact information to their phone number.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute, but is your phone number part of that contact information?
Yeah, but it's not, that's what I'm saying, like it's your phone number, but like.
Yeah, it's the new update that they have for iPhone.
So this is a new update for iPhone. Wait. So if I'm touching, if
Yeah,
I
if you
need,
do literally, if you just do this on your phone, it's gonna connect your contacts with your.
but you're not trying to give out your phone number.
That's the thing, like people were like just making jokes out of it. They're like, if I want to get someone's number, just put it to another person.
That's-
just get
Yeah,
it.
I just woke up to it.
Wait, y'all okay with that?
No.
Oh, okay, I was just checking.
It's just a joke. Unless if they ask for it.
Okay, so that was an iPhone update they didn't need to make.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, because then what's to stop somebody from just, your phone is laying down for a minute and go, right? Can they do that?
Yeah.
I don't like that idea. What? You should put your phone down there. Wow.
Yo, I need my number.
That's, okay, and then last question. Okay, so now that you got the person's Instagram, so then, it's like on Facebook, you have to accept somebody as your friend. You have to
Well,
accept
it
them.
depends if your account's like public or private. Yeah.
So if it's private, then they may have your Instagram and it means absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Half the time they do that on purpose,
You gotta
because
accept it.
you gotta, some places, you gotta actually give them something or the person's not gonna stop asking you. So you give them like an
It's
Instagram.
just something to get them off your back.
Yeah,
Throwing the dog a bone.
yeah, you can tell people no, or they'll start like getting angry at you or something. It's all.
I don't think any of the gentlemen here, who
No, I've seen it before, don't worry.
get upset.
No, not me, but I've seen it before.
It happens.
So, fellas, I wanna make sure you guys hear this. The ladies, and I'm not getting into sexual orientation or anything, but the ladies are saying that they have to sometimes give you the information, because if they say no, or I'm not interested, whatever, you guys might get upset.
I'm scared, woman.
You're scared?
Yo, that's funny.
I think he's serious.
I'm serious, no, I'm serious.
So he's,
I agree.
so I'm just saying, I don't think the guys are, I mean, yes, there's always some nuts in every, batch, but I don't think most guys are willing to risk,
No, I
see?
It's not. That boy got
Sometimes
trouble.
I do like get upset, and it happened to me.
You can be
Twice.
able to tell. You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell when a guy's upset when you don't give him their you don't give him their.
Well, then that justifies you not giving them your information, though.
See, the problem
It's
is, it's a percentage, right? So there might be 4 billion men in the world, right? And it could be like 30% of that, but that's still a big number. That's still a lot, man.
Yeah.
30% of 4 billion?
You never really know until you're in that moment.
Exactly.
Well, what's wrong with telling a guy I'm in a okay, it may not be true.
It just depends on
I'm
the
in a
relationship. That's the one thing.
Wait, that doesn't work? I'm in a relationship?
No, sometimes don't be scared.
Y'all making guys, wait, where are the fellas? Can't y'all, they making y'all sound bad.
The guys that can't even
No,
think of
listen,
themselves.
no, listen, objectively, considering how bad some of us are,
Are you just claiming, you're owning, we're bad.
yeah, some of us are terrible.
It's like if you go to like a college show or something, like imagine like a frat guy coming up to you and like he asks for your Instagram and you're like, oh no, sorry, I have a boyfriend. They'll either be like, oh okay, like I still can't get your number, like you can't have any friends, you don't like you have any friends, and like they'll just keep pushing.
So you gotta get like a third degree,
Yeah.
like you're being on,
Like
No,
you're
you're
like
like-
getting interrogated, like
So you're getting
flashing in your
interrogated.
face. Yeah.
They're like, oh no, I don't want your boyfriend, I want you. Like,
Right. Like they will not stop. So you give them Instagram and you just
I don't care if you
I'm sorry.
block them immediately.
Dude, I just gave him a fake
I'm sorry some of you guys have to go. I'm sorry. That's all I can say is I'm sorry. Once again, I'm just glad I'm not part of your generation. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. Okay. Short-term memory. Information in 15 to 25 seconds. That's about it. And we can hold up to 7 items or chunks, which I'll explain in a minute. So say, for example, in my day, if you met somebody and you asked them a phone number, if you take out the area code, how many digits is that? How many digits? Take out the area code. How many numbers? The phone number is 7 digits, right? Taking out the area code. So in my day, you can say, hey, yo, girl, can I get your number? And if she gives it to you, then she'll give you the. Now here's the thing. Our short-term memory only holds about 7 items, so that's 7 numbers. So at that point, you either gotta write the number down so you don't forget it, or you gotta keep saying it in your head. So she gives you the number, maybe trying to look cool, like, I got it, I don't need to write it down. And so as you walk away, you're like, you gotta keep repeating it, or else it's gonna lose it. That rehearsal will help you get to long-term memory. But it's the same thing. If your parents send you to the grocery store and they go, how come you don't write them down? I remember. If it's beyond, and by the way, everybody's memory is different. This is not across the board rule. But for the average person, this is what they're saying. You're supposed to go to the grocery store and get these items, and your parents like, you ain't writing them down. I got it. If it's more than 7 items, unless you got a really good memory, you're probably gonna get back home and there's something you forgot. Being real, so you may want to put it in your phone or something. But because unless you're gonna repeat the list in your head, that's that rehearsal again. So then you're gonna move from short-term memory to long-term memory, and then when you get to the store, you're like, okay, I remember. Now, one technique that people can use to remember a lot of stuff is called chunking. Or to chunk. That is organizing information into a familiar or manageable units so that you can, in your short-term memory. Example, this first line, it says MD, PhD, RSVP, CEOIHOP. If I said, I need you to remember all these things and I cut the screen off, and I was like, okay, tell me those letters again. That was a lot of letters to remember at one time. That's a lot. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 16 letters. So if I was like, okay, get bonus points on your test right now, I need you to write down as many of the letters that you can recall. Very few of you, if any, would get all 16 of those letters. But if we use something called chunking, we split these things up into units that make it easier to remember. So instead of all these long letters, we say, you know what? It's an MD, that's a medical doctor, who has a PhD, who also has reservations, RSVP, with a CEO at IHOP. That'll be far easier to remember about the medical doctor with a PhD who has a reservation with a CEO at IHOP. That'll be far easier to remember than MD, PhD, RSVP, CEO. That's chunking. You putting things in a group to help you remember them in your short-term memory. Okay, let's see how well you can do. Okay, so I'm showing you this list of words. Look at them real quick. All right, so you're looking at the words. Okay, now there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There were 12 items. Does anybody remember all 12? You remember one? Who remembers more than one item? Okay, who remembers more than 5? 5. Let's test you out. 5. Give them to me.
It was Strappo, German Shepherd, Apple. Oh.
Let's see the short-term memory. Fading already. What do you have? What's your name again? Is it tonight?
I think it was German Shepherd, Apple, Kings, Orange.
That's 4. Right here. What you got?
Apple, German Shepherd, Poodle, that's all.
Man, see that short-term memory is fading quick.
Let's try. German Shepherd, apple, milk, copier, paper, pen.
We got 6. Anybody want to be more than 6? Give me a shot.
Wait, never mind. I don't think I can.
Okay. Okay, now, here's the thing.
Is pencil in there?
You don't know this yet, but all those things on that list could go under one of 4 different headings. I'm gonna show you the list now, and tell me, what are the 4 categories of these items?
No.
There's 4 different categories. Fruit, that's one category. Beverages, yes. What's another category?
Stationery.
Dogs and
Stationery.
stationery, or we call office supplies. And that would have made this easier to remember. Instead of trying to remember all these, if you just would have said, I know there's dogs up there, I know there's fruit up there, I know there's office supplies, and I know there's drinkable liquids. If you'd have just thought about remembering those 4 categories, I promise you, you guys remember more than 5 things. That's what chunking is about. Putting things together to help you remember. And there's the category. You said it. Dogs. There's 3 dog breeds. Fruits. 3 different types of fruits. Office supplies and drinkable liquids. That's what chunking is. Yes.
I just have a really random question, no worries, you can answer it. But, so, and I don't know if y'all know this, but I have a processing disorder, it's called APD. And I was supposed to do this as like therapy. So like I would say the numbers like to the lady, and then she would have me like say it back, and then I'd have to like remember all of them in like a few minutes. So like, is it like technically like a learning like therapy thing, or is it just like a common like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but like, is it more like a teaching thing?
Well, it sounds like what she was trying to get you to do. Think of like our bodies. When we exercise our bodies get strong. She was trying to exercise that part of your brain so that it became easier for you to remember what was going. So they're saying if we have muscles, if we don't use them, we lose them. And that's what she's trying to get you to do. Just keep using it. Because if you don't we don't get better with anything if we don't practice it. And so she's trying to rewire your brain in some ways that becomes easier. But if you don't do it consistent, just like with exercise, whatever, if you don't do it consistently, you're not going to get the progress or the outcome you're desiring. So that's what she's saying. Yeah, my wife has a little bit of processing disorder too. So not exactly in that area, but it's in another area. Now, well, you know what? No, she has her processing disorder has to do with hearing certain things.
That's mine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Auditory process.
Yeah, that's one more thing. That's it right there. Okay, now, rehearsal, this is obvious. I've mentioned this word several times, and you already know what rehearsal is. And it has to do with what I just mentioned, repetition. Repetition. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you another learning strategy or another way in which people create a way to remember something. For most people, rehearsal is not fun. But for most of us, it's kind of tough to learn without rehearsing. Like it's hard to, I mentioned being in theater.
Maintains
You go to
details
rehearsal.
and short-term memory. When repeated,
Played on a sports
allows
team,
transfer
especially like a football
of
team.
details into
Anybody play
long-term
football
memory.
in here?
Elaborative
Nobody.
rehearsal
Yeah.
occurs when details is declared and
Well, I'm
organized
gonna
in
just
some
tell you right
fashion.
now, I played.
And
You gotta learn to play.
mnemonics are strategies
What to
for
play, because every play has a
organizing
code, like, okay, it's
details
37 quick pitch.
in a way that makes it more likely to be
They
remembered.
call it play. You gotta remember what that play is. So in practice, the coach is literally like, run this play, 37 quick pitch, I rock 9. And then he's gonna say, run it again. And he's gonna say, run it again. We just ran the play. Run it again. Run it again. He wants to make sure we not only know the play, but everybody knows what they're supposed to do. It's rehearsal. I do martial arts, specifically Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Every class, they teach a technique. And then you get paired up with somebody and you rehearse the technique over and over. Okay, now it's your turn. Over and over so that it goes into your long-term memory and you
Transfer
know how to
details.
do it naturally. That's really the goal for a lot of things that you need. I mean, a lot of you know how to drive. You had to rehearse. You had to literally, when you first started out, somebody had to tell you, okay, now put your foot on the brake, okay, turn the ignition, check the mirror. Like they walked you through all that. And so you, from that point on, you get in the car, okay, do this first. Now, if you've been driving for a significant period of time, you don't even have to think about what you have to do. It's all natural. You don't have to think, oh, let me put my turn signal on when I make this left turn. You already know instinctually. It's the reflexes taking over. That's the benefit of rehearsal. The repetition of information that has entered short-term memory. This is how it gets over to long-term memory. Now, another technique for remembering information is called mnemonics. It's not on the test, but I'm just going to show you what mnemonics looks like. So, sometimes you got a test coming up and you need to remember a lot of terms. If somebody says, okay, on your test, I'm going to need you to know all the planets in our solar system. So then you come up, mnemonics is, this is how I remember the solar system in order. My very energetic mother just served us 9 pizzas. And so when you take the test, you sit down and the first thing you write, let me write down, my very energetic mother just served us 9 pizzas. And that's the order of our planets in our solar system. First letter, my Mercury. Very energetic Mother. The first, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. The first letter matches up with the words, just to help you remember stuff. Does anybody play guitar in here?
No.
Okay, so some of you do. Okay, so during COVID, that was my COVID hobby, guitar. So, and because I was doing virtual guitar lessons, and so the guitar instructor, she was teaching me about each string, because you have to tune the guitar. Those who play guitar, you have to tune it, and it's E, A, D, G, B, E. Something like that. I think that's it. And so she taught me to remember those letters. She said, just remember, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. I'm violent, yes, but that's how she taught me to remember each string. And so now when I need to tune my guitar, I literally in my head, I hear myself saying, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Some people like the colors of the spectrum or the colors that make up a rainbow. Some people remember it by remembering Roy G. Biv. Think of like that, Roy G. Biv. And so what are those colors? What are the letters mean? So it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So that's called mnemonics. Another way, kind of like chunking, to remember stuff. Once again, these are just, when you have a lot of stuff to remember. I would imagine people who are going to med school, they must do all types of tricks to try to remember all the information they have to remember. I just couldn't imagine. That's a ton of stuff. The body and the mind and all of that. So working memory is pretty much the system that's holding the information temporarily. We don't need to really go too much in this. By the way, but sometimes stress can affect our ability to remember stuff. I wouldn't even say sometimes, I would say most often. If you're stressed and you have an exam coming up,
Details.
unless you're the type who can compartmentalize, you can tune out whatever you're dealing with and you can focus on studies. then that's fine. But if you're not, if you're stressed out, it's gonna be really tough. If you're worried about your mom who's sick, your car is about to be repossessed, you don't know how you're gonna finish paying for school, it's gonna be tough to study like that. It's gonna be tough to remember information.
Manipulating.
Like I said, if you can zero in and focus, because some people, some students, I know, I've
Rehearsing
had clients,
that
I've had some
details.
clients who had a whole bunch of stuff going on in their world, but they were A students. Because their academics became their escape from the dysfunction in their home and in their lives. So, unless you can do that, otherwise it will affect them. So now we finally get to long-term memory.
About time. Stores details.
Anybody need to sign the attendance sheet? Anybody sign? Oh, pass that when you finish. He needs one right there. And you need to sign it.
Difficult to retrieve.
Where's the other sheet at? So long-term memory stores information on a relatively permanent basis. It's almost unlimited capacity. I don't know what they mean by almost unlimited, but basically it's stuff that stays with us pretty much for a very long time. Once again, this is going to talk about our differences.
With certain
in
kinds of
age.
brain damage.
We're generations apart. Does anybody know any phone number by heart now? What number do you know by heart?
I know my parents.
You know your parents' number by heart?
Yeah.
Okay. You know anybody? What number you know by heart?
I know my best friend's number and my parents.
Parents. Okay. Okay. Who do you know? Your mother. Anybody else? Who else?
I know my aunts and my mom.
I'm impressed that you guys even know. Wait, let me ask you. Is it safe to say everybody knows somebody's number by heart?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking, because now, you know, we got these, we just, sir, click and hit a button, and we don't have to remember stuff. When I was younger, we didn't have, there was no such thing as smartphones or cell phones, so we had to, sometimes, I remember having a tiny little book thing that I kept in my wallet that had people's phone numbers in it.
I remember my parents' numbers because, like, when I was a kid, they used to leave and stuff, they'd write their number down on the fridge. And so you have to, like, remember it just in case it's an emergency. And so I started, like, just remembering it. So I know I could go upstairs.
Right. And see, those are examples of things that have moved to our long-term memory. Those numbers are locked into our brain. Your parents can get another phone and you still gonna remember. They can change the number, you still gonna remember this number. You'll be 50 years old and you still gonna remember this number more than likely. And it's just, some of you remember certain addresses where you used to live, even as a kid. Maybe your parent made sure you know how to find your address in case a policeman, you know that address for that old house that you used to live in, or that old apartment. Some things just went to long-term.
Best remembered
and
or
they're
items.
there. It's for life. Like that song I got.
Yeah. Or items that
Now,
that come early.
if a person experiences some type of traumatic head injury or brain injury, that could affect memory. That could affect long-term memory. depending on what type of damage happens. One person could have a brain injury where their short-term memory is the issue. When they learn stuff in the now, they just can't keep it. But they remember stuff from the past. And for some people, it could be the complete opposite. They only remember what's happening right now, and they don't remember anything from the past. So that's a really unfortunate brain injury. I saw a trailer for a TV show where this woman, I think it's a new show out this fall. I believe she's some type of doctor, and she gets into an injury, and she experienced a traumatic brain injury. And so she doesn't remember things that she needs to remember to be a doctor, but they let her come back on the staff, but it's.
I think it's called Doctor. She was in a coma for like 3 days, and then she lost 8 years of her life.
She lost 8 years of her life.
Yeah, but she wasn't like in a coma for 8 years. Like that's just what her brain sent her to. So she thought she was still like married to her husband.
But she wasn't married to her
She
husband.
wasn't, no.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Is it interesting?
Yeah, it's actually really
That isn't, so she thinking I'm married to this guy, and she's like, oh, no. Do they have kids?
And like, so like, all her kids feel like they look older now because last time she remembers them.
They were a lot younger.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Huh.
should watch it, it's really good.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for that information. Okay. Now, I'm going to briefly talk about, this is pretty easy. It's called the tip of the tongue phenomenon.
Recalling long-term memories.
I'm sure some of you had said, well, it's on the tip of my tongue. That is actually a phenomenon. Can you believe that? Who knew?
What causes difficulties and
I
failures
know
in
this.
memory?
I can't. Ugh. I'm sure you guys heard the term, it's on the tip of my tongue. A lot of you probably used that term. One day you were with somebody, you saw a guy or a girl, and you were like, I know his name, why can't I remember it? It's on the tip of my tongue. You know, it's interesting, as an instructor, sometimes I could see that look on some of the students' face when you guys are taking a test. I could tell when you're pretty sure you knew the answer, but in that moment, you're like, you can't even try to recall it. When they're like, I go, okay, they're experiencing the tip of the tongue.
The inability.
They know this, but they just can't remember it in that moment. Who's good with names? I struggle with names. That's it, just us, huh? I'm good with faces. I won't forget the face, but the name, I need to be working on. I mean, that's why it'll take me all semester to learn everybody's names, but I'm working on it. I'm just slow with that. We're going to get to in a second, have to have what's called a retrieval cue to remember stuff, which we'll get into in that. So, tip of the tongue phenomenon, the inability to recall information that one realizes one knows. In other words, it's the inability to remember something you know. You know her name. You know his name. You said it all the time, but for right now, can't believe I remember that.
Details.
It was something recently. It was something really plain. I was like, I don't know why I can't remember that. Like, it might even be a salad dressing. What is the name of that salad dressing? I eat it all the time. What is the name? So, this is basically difficulty with retrieving information from our long-term memory. That's what this is really all about. We're having problems retrieving information. I don't know why this happens so often, but it definitely does happen for people. Like I said, I still have to really work on remembering names, so it's definitely going to happen in that area. I think be trying to remember a TV show to my wife. You know, the show with that guy on it. You know, we used to watch it all the time. He had long black hair. She'd be like, what? And we watched the show for years. And I'm like, oh, The Walking Dead. Yeah, that show. That happens to me a lot. All right. I was mentioning this word right here. Retrieval cues.
This point. Nice. Stimula. That allows us to more easily recall details. That is in long-term memory.
Anybody else need to sign the attendance sheet? Outstanding. Before I explain retrieval cues,
Memory task.
does anybody experience this? Whenever you
Which
smell
specific?
this certain scent or this perfume or cologne, you automatically link it to a person. Anybody have that?
Details.
Who is your scent?
Mom,
What's the scent?
it's like a flower,
Okay.
like a deep flower.
Is that from her cologne or is just maybe some soap she uses?
Yeah, probably like, I don't know. Every time I smell it, I always smell her. I guess, yeah, she has that on like every day. So.
You do know for the rest of your life, whenever you smell that, you know you're gonna think about it.
Task.
Yeah.
Even long after she's gone, hopefully she's here a lot for a long time, but
Which individual?
she is forever linked to that smell for you.
Yeah.
Jackie, who are you gonna say? What's the smell and who you link it to?
So it's both of my parents, my mom and my dad. I know the scent of my mom's perfume because it's flowery,
With a stimulus.
it's sweet, it's a sweet smell. And then my dad's cologne is it's more fresh and
And
a
ask
little
what
bit
the-
strong, but not really. That's how I know I'm
Okay.
oh, they're probably around.
You know who's around by
Yeah,
that.
I know. It's like I feel like I sense when I smell her perfume, I'm like, oh, she's home. So, and
Exposed to it.
she's like, how do you remember that? I'm like, I don't know. I just
Just know. Jordan?
People, like where they live, like my cousins, I know their house is a distinct smell, all of them smell like their house. And any place I come from, if you leave clothes in a bag, it'll smell like that place until you wash it off.
Or to
You
identify
know what's
someone.
funny?
Okay.
There are people's houses you go into that have a distinct smell. And grandparents' houses also tend to have, I'm just saying, grandparents' homes tends to have a distinct smell. I'm not saying it's bad, it's like their stuff, or like, I don't know, it's weird. It's not, it don't have to be old.
Maybe smelling like vitamins.
Vitamins, that's hilarious.
That's
no.
that's stupid.
Usually my grandparents' house was like fall, like you know, those like spices and all that.
See, what you guys have just described are basically, those are examples of retrieval cues. Stimuli that allow us more easily to recall information that is in our long-term memory. And these are things that it can be a word, it can be a smell, which is what we're focusing on, it can be an emotion, a sound, whatever gives you a clue to help you remember something. Some of us, it can even be a song. There are some of you, when you hear a certain song, it links you to that person and what you were experiencing at that time. There's a Mariah Carey song that she sang with Boyz II Men called One Sweet Day. It's difficult for me to even talk about the song, let alone listen to the song. And the reason why is because my cousin, when I lived in LA, she was 21, she got murdered. And so that Sunday, I was going to church, and that came on the radio. And there's a line in that song that says something about the person will be looking down from heaven to you.
So sorry, Mr. Jones.
Huh?
I'm so sorry, Mr. Jones, about your cousin.
Yeah, me too. So that song instantly takes me back to my relationship with Carly. That song immediately takes me back to the weekend when we found out that she was murdered. Now, hopefully, if you have a song that links you to a person, it's not a situation like that. Maybe it's a first love. Some of you laugh, you must have a first. Yep, okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jackie, you got a song linked to a song.
I have two songs. One was for my first love, and then one when my grandma passed away.
What was the first love song?
Oh my god.
And you don't have to share. I don't want to force anybody to share.
Cause like I was not. It was one song. It's a Spanish song that it's been stuck in my head.
Okay.
But like ever since I heard that song, cause he was the first one who played that song for me. Cause he played it on the guitar, and that's why I got stuck.
Oh, that just got branded into your brain.
Yes.
Oh, you ain't never get that.
I know. No, I'm not.
Never. That song. Oh no. Now you had him. He performed it. That's yeah.
That's horrible.
You are you married?
No.
You one day you might get married and have kids, whatever, and you still that ain't going nowhere. That's sorry.
Okay, my current boyfriend played that song, and I was like, oh no, it was bad. It was really bad.
There's this artist, I'm not gonna say her name, but so when I had a girlfriend for 3 years when I was in my 20s, we both loved this CD. I really want to share with my current wife, but I'm like, I can't. It feels bad. Like I can't. I don't. Because if she likes it, it's just so weird. Like, and that was like over 20 years ago, and I'm still like, nah. I think I'm not. I'm not so. Anybody else has a song that they link with them?
Whatever the specific clue.
Very first book. Who played? Why is that song linked to? Why are you linked that to him?
Cause like, people play it in the car, like when we're like driving through the mountains in North Georgia, and like it was like very peaceful and relaxing, and so now it's just there.
See, look at that. So you think about that. So you have the song, and then you have the visual memory of driving through the mountains. Yeah, you're not gonna that's not going anywhere either. But you don't even tell your current boyfriend about that. Okay,
I think he likes Morgan Wallen, so I'm like, listen, we're staying away from that.
See, now you're talking. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like I said, it could be a smell, a song, anything that connects those memories. Those are called retrieval cues. And so even when remembering a person's name, you could be like, okay, what do I need? I need to get a clue to help me remember her name. Okay, I know. Her name is one of the months in spring. April. My retrieval cue is just remembering that her name is during the springtime. It's one of those months. So it's either gonna be, not many people are named March.
Real awkward.
I guess it could be named May, but April is definitely considered springtime. So those are like cool. Like I say, it could be a word, it could be whatever helps you to remember something. That's how I sometimes remember names too. Like for example, Jackie, I remember your name because the girlfriend who I was just talking about,
Cocaine.
who I was with for 3 years, and we liked the same artist, her name was Jackie. So now I got your name because you're an ex. Your name is. devices. So I'm just saying, that becomes a retrieval cue. That's how we can help to remember names or parts or things, whatever, associated with something else or somebody else. Hey, I have a friend, her name is a flower. Is it Daisy? No, Rose, that's what it is. So, all right, let me see if we want to do one more. Ooh, okay. We're gonna stop with this because this is gonna take a minute to explain.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and write it down so you'll have it. And then we'll go ahead and write this down. Now briefly, I'll briefly go over this and we'll go over it again on Thursday. So you're writing down explicit memory and implicit memory.
Intentional.
Explicit and implicit. Pay attention to
Or
the words that
conscious
are in
recollection.
bold, dark print. If you want, you could really just write the bold, dark print to the definition. You really don't have to write everything else. If you want to, you can get away with it. You don't have a problem. Like I said, I'm letting you write this down, but I'm probably gonna save this for Thursday.
Memories of which people? Shit. Alright. Consciously.
I know some of you are still writing. It's okay, take your time. Is there anyone here who wish they had a memory where you just never forgot anything? Who wish they had a memory where you didn't forget anything? Okay, 1, 2. That's it? Just 3 people?
Oh, that's gonna be a
What was that?
curse more than a blessing.
You think it'd be a curse? Why do you think that could be a curse more than a blessing? To remember everything.
There's some memories that you'll probably accumulate over life that you'll wish that you could forget.
Yes, I would think we all probably have a memory or two we wish we didn't have.
What happened?
Can we just get this out of my brain?
What happened?
I think those memories are like kind of like needed because they make you like what
What if the memory is traumatic?
well, then you're gonna find a way to get through it, so that's gonna help you work.
I like your attitude. I like that mindset. You're like, you know what, even if you went through something traumatic, then you still have to figure out how to get through it and it'll make you better somehow.
Were you okay?
Well, on Thursday,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna show you a video of a woman. It's proven, it's not even made up. She has a very special ability that there are people on this planet who have this skill. And they've been studying these people and wonder why. This woman remembers everything that she has seen or experienced going all the way back to childhood.
Please.
Everything. Please. Like it was yesterday. So she can tell we'll show you, I'm gonna look at the video, you're gonna look at the video. You could ask her what was she doing on 2012 at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday, on that Tuesday, and she will tell you. Matter of fact, she'll tell you what day of the week was. You could say 2012 April 4th. You could say 2012 April 4th, and she'll be able to tell you what day of the week that was. She'll be like, that was a Tuesday. She'll be like, oh, and it was raining that day. And this is what I was doing. And this is the TV show that was on. And this is what was happening on that episode. She remembers everything. And we'll find out how much of this ability is a blessing and how much is a curse, as you mentioned. But like I said, there are people who their brains can do this. Their brains remember everything. And so often, I wish I could remember more stuff. I just, anybody ever watched this show called, okay, it's on Netflix. I'm talking about this one. Black Mirror. Has anybody ever seen Black Mirror? That's one of your favorite shows. Okay. For those of you who have not seen Black Mirror, and I'm gonna make the announcement so we go. It's kind of like, so there's this old TV show called The Twilight Zone that had weird endings that would happen. So it takes like The Twilight Zone and it mixes it with advanced technology. So possible future technologies. And it combines the two stories, and it's usually, they don't usually have happy endings. But there are several episodes, this is fascinating, we talk about memory. There was one episode very creatively that in this particular time in the future, people can insert a device behind their head or their ear.
Go back and see what they had done.
And what you can do, once you have that device, you have a little fob that you can carry with you. And it allows you to replay anything you've seen at any point in your life. So, say for example, like in this particular episode, the guy went on a job interview. And after the interview, he can now take his little fob, and in his mind, he can replay and see how the interview went from his point of view. If he wanted to, he can also project the image on a wall or a screen. So if his wife wants to know how the job interview went, he could then not only rewind to that day and that moment, he could share it with her. This is what happened. There were some problems with that. What was really cool, you were even able to implant this device in a child. So they had a baby. And so when her and her husband went out for a date, when they got back in, I guess a way to make sure the babysitter did what the babysitter needed to do, they immediately downloaded the baby's images so they could see when the sitter fed them, when the sitter put the baby in the bed, make sure the sitter didn't do anything stupid or crazy, because they could tap into the baby's thing. There's so many times I wish I could go back and say, man, I want to relive what happened, because I don't remember. But there were some problems, as you mentioned, some people decided not to get the implant. Am I correct? But most people got the implant. And so there's a lot of problems with that. I know one thing, it makes it difficult to tell a lie, because if you say, well, where were you? You didn't come straight home from work. Or I stopped
at the gas station.
I stopped at the gas station. You were like, show me. No, just project it, show me the image. You're like, so that becomes a problem. Now, in this episode, you could erase it, but then that creates a problem too. Why'd you delete this hour? So you're looking kind of guilty now because you got an hour deleted. All right. So real quick, for those of you who came late, your quizzes, your next group of quizzes are due on Monday, September 29th. Chapter 4, States of Consciousness, Chapter 5, Learning. Monday, 29th, by 11:59 p.m. Also, your next test is a week from Thursday, October 2nd. It's covering 2 chapters. It is covering memory, the one we're on right now, Chapter 6, and Chapter 5, Learning, the chapter we did last week. Next Tuesday, we're going to do a review activity to get you ready for Thursday's final. Okay? Any questions about anything? All right, having said that, don't forget, we'll see the woman who remembers everything on Thursday. Have a great rest of the day. I'll see you then.